Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann, and I am trying to do a stitch with me for the first time ever. Ignore my nails. I never sealed them the other day, and they got messed up after doing like dishes and stuff. So, I am actually pre-recording this. It is Sunday night, so that's why I'm as far as I am, which is not very. This weekend I have been working on the names. I was at Martha Corey. So I'm on the last name, which is Bridget Bishop. So I'm going to try and finish Bridget, and then I'm definitely going to do the star up here. And then I'm going to move over to these words right here. And I decided I was going to finish this, but I am going to do these words up here first, so that way I can put this color away. It's the same color as the names. So I'm trying to keep my pattern out of the way, so it's over off to the side right here. And yeah, I don't fully know what to talk about on a stitch with me. I've never done these before. I've wanted to do a stitch with me for a really, really long time. And I might be a little bit slower than normal because I have the stand is holding the camera right here, and it's kind of blocking my stitching hand. But we're gonna see how it goes. So I've been having some back pain today and yesterday, which is not fun at all. But I was talking to my, sorry about that. I was talking to my trainer about it, and we think that it might be, I've been kind of forgetting to drink my magnesium every night. And while I was kind of dealing with the 13th anniversary thing, like for like that week and a half, I kind of like spaced out many days and didn't take I didn't take my daily vitamins. And if you've been around for a while, you might remember that 2 or 3 years ago, I had a really bad vitamin D deficiency. Like my vitamin D count was at like 11 or something crazy, which it's supposed to be like in the 30s or something like that. I don't really remember all the numbers, but it was really bad, and I had to take incredibly large vitamin D pills or quantities for a while and wean myself off. And then I had to start taking a vitamin D3 pill every day because we just don't think that my body retains the vitamin D quite as well as it should. And so it's possible that my vitamin D got a little low, which can cause some serious, like, because I've been having my headaches and stuff. I've been really tired. Like if I barely lay down, I fall asleep. And that's definitely a side effect of low vitamin D and low magnesium. So we're going to be very conscientious of vitamins for the next week or so. And if it doesn't get better, then I will probably go talk to my doctor and see if something else might be up, but we're thinking it's a vitamin thing. Anyways, I'm really enjoying working on this. I didn't get as much done. I didn't work on it at all on Friday. Talked about that in my vlog. My throat is a little scratchy. I'm really thirsty. That's honestly what the problem is. I have a giant bottle of water right over there. Anyways, I talked about that in my vlog from this weekend. And then Saturday, I was hanging out with Tiffany for some of the day, and so I didn't stitch until after she headed home. But this week we are going to get some good progress on this. I really want to see this one done. I think it's such a fun stitch from the primitive hair. And this is on a 32 count silk weaver fabric in the colorway Days Gone By. And I used overdyes for everything. They weren't all the called for, I can tell you that. And I think maybe one DMC, maybe two, maybe only one. The brown. So this has been a really fun piece to work on. No pattern must not fall. So the only thing that I'm kind of sad about tonight is that there isn't a Big Brother episode tonight. It got moved to Monday night instead. But Big Brother, the season ends the day before my birthday. And I'm going to be a day behind in watching it. Oh, dang. I didn't do this E like I've been doing all the rest of them. That's fine. I'll just fudge it a little bit. Because I decided to get rid of DirecTV, and they don't prorate, which is silly. So my last day with DirecTV is October 14th. But that's okay. You can watch the episodes the next day on CBS.com, so I'm not really worried about it. I'll watch it the next day. Better find it on YouTube the next day. And yeah, I'm just gonna live with Netflix and Hulu. I'm actually pretty excited about it. I looked up all the shows that I regularly record. Did I put that in the wrong? I did. And there's only a few shows that I'm not gonna easily be able to see anymore. I would have to have Hulu Live TV or get YouTube TV. And I don't, at least not for a while, I don't want to do that. It's not a requirement. I think it's only like 4 or 5 shows out of like the 50 that I record. So not the biggest deal in the world, right? I do watch a fair amount of TV. But I've discovered that I watch a lot more YouTube and Hulu and Netflix than regular TV now. And perhaps part of that is because there hasn't really been anything on because of the shutdowns and all of that. But I also don't really miss it. Like, I kind of enjoy binging an entire season at one time. So I'm gonna do without, and it's gonna save me like $110. So who doesn't want to save some money on something that they aren't readily using at the moment? I'm thinking for Christmas I'll just ask for a Fire Stick, because the one thing that I can't do, I did have Disney Plus and I got rid of it because I couldn't watch it on my TV. I could only watch it either on my phone or my iPad, and I don't always want to just watch like a movie or something on my iPad. You know, I'm not on an airplane. If I'm laying in bed, I want to watch it on the TV. So, but my Samsung is a little bit older, so I can't get the app on my TV. I also was told about the Peacock app, and I haven't checked on my TV if I can get the Peacock app, but it's a free TV and movie service from NBC. And they have like all of the seasons of Murder, She Wrote, and in November they're coming out with a like redo of Saved by the Bell, where Zach Morris is like the mayor or something. I don't know, something like that. And Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez are going to be in it. Which, I mean, sign me up, please. Sounds like a good time. I mean, at least I'm going to give it a shot. One of my friends, I posted about it last week, and one of my friends on Instagram was like, I hope it's not a disappointment like Fuller House. And I just responded to them, I really liked Fuller House with like the emoji. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to respond to negative responses whenever I posted something that I'm excited about. I'm not very good at responding to that kind of stuff, but I just put like, sorry, you didn't like it. I did. I don't know how else to respond. But I don't know. It sounds interesting. Like, I would definitely give it a shot. My cousin Cassie told me that I need to give Schitt's Creek a try, which I've been told that many times. But I read the synopsis, and it doesn't sound like something I would want to watch. I have heard it's really funny, but I don't know. I will give most everything at least 3 episodes. Almost anything has 3 episodes to impress me. And if it doesn't, then I say la vie and move on. But what else have I been watching? Let's see. I just finished watching Outlander. So, one of my other cousins, Cheryl, had been trying to get me to watch Outlander for the last several years, and it's been in my queue. That's how I'm going to defend myself. It's been in my queue. I really wanted to be able to read the books before I ever attempted to watch the show, and both libraries that I have an overdrive for, they only have it in ebook and not in audiobook, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very slow at physical books or ebooks rather than audiobooks. But besides that, I checked out the first one as an ebook, and it wasn't Kindle deliverable. So it was only for Android phones. I really wish that they would put that before you wait weeks to check it out. But that's just, I am so sorry. That's just like a mini rant. I'm not going to get on a soapbox about that. But anyways, I finally went ahead and did it because nothing else was like really calling to me. And it's really good, you guys, especially if you really like history. It's really good, really interesting. There's some stuff that I could have done without in excess, but I understand the point and the logic behind it. It just sometimes seemed to be a bit much, but it is a really good show. Is it something that like I would watch continuously, like over and over, like I have, like Grey's Anatomy or The Office or something? Probably not. But in a year or something. If somebody wanted to watch it again or like wanted to like start it, I would watch it. But yeah, that one was really good. And Netflix only has through season 3. And so I did a free on Hulu. I did a free week trial of Stars specifically to watch season 4 and 5. So I binged watched 4 and 5 in a week, and now I'm caught up. And it is a show, though, that when season 6 comes out and all the episodes are out, I would pay the $8.99 for a single month for Stars to watch it, and also maybe enjoy a couple movies along the way too. But yeah, it's pretty good. But that's the last thing that I've like super binged. And I haven't been doing very good at reading. I just checked a couple of books back out because I keep forgetting to listen to them. And so I just keep on checking them out. And I keep on checking out new books. I need to finish the ones that I'm like in the middle of before I check out more, but I can't help myself. I just keep checking out books, reading or listening to like a disc or two and not finishing it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm in the middle of like 36 books right now, which sounds crazy to a lot of people, but you're also listening to somebody who has 49 whips at the moment. So maybe it's not that crazy for somebody who has ADD and hasn't taken medicine for that in a really long time. Maybe that's just normal. Is anybody else like that, though? I know in the stitching community, a lot of us have a ton of projects, but books. Is there anybody else who is nowhere near a monogamous reader? Maybe not to the level of like 35 books or so, but at least a handful, right? I can't be the only one. I feel like I can't be the only one, but who knows? I guess I could be. These letters are just so soothing. And I don't know if it's necessarily the letters, but this fabric. I really love stitching on this. And I'm not usually a big fan of like uneven linens. I mean, this is pretty even, but there is a little bit of unevenness. It's just not crazy. But this is such a nice linen. There is a little bit of like pilling and stuff, but it's not bad. It's really soft. It glides through like a warm butter knife in a giant block of butter. Kerrygold specifically. The only butter that I use and eat now. I don't know. There's something about this fabric. I think maybe that's another reason why I really enjoy stitching. Oh, jeez. I've been doing really good at not hitting that very much, but whenever I do, y'all bounce around a lot. I really apologize for that. I'm trying really hard not to come up too high to hit that. I might have to... Actually, let's try that. I think I'm going to try moving it to the other side. Okay, I tried. It's not going to work because the camera has to face this direction or else you see a ton of the stand, and it also wouldn't angle very well to see what I was doing. So I'll just try to be extra careful and not hit. But I think I like angled it a new slightly different angle, just a little bit. So we'll see. So this month, I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna have a couple of new starts. We're for sure gonna have the Dracula's Confession from Lindy Stitches as a start for my birthday. But I have a special video coming out towards the end of the month on some special like fabrics that we're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna start 2 new starts for that. And then there's just some other ones that I'm just considering because they've been kitted and I've been wanting to start them. So I don't know. We may get a couple of new starts this season of October. October is its own season in this house. But it depends on how long it takes me to finish this one. I don't know how much I'm going to be shooting for finishes in the month of October other than this one. This one will be my 39th finish for the year, which will be really nice. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a little bit creepy of a piece, but also at the same time, it's really nice. So I love how this blue came out. Can you see the striping? I think it looks so good. So good. I've been rewatching lately a lot of old videos of Team Edge from whenever they like first got started like 4 years ago. I really love Team Edge on YouTube. Team Edge and Dope or Nope and the Matthias channel. It makes me laugh so much. And I really just truly enjoy it. It makes me very happy. Ooh, we might get this name done on this strand. How cool would that be? I think it would be really cool. I half expect somebody to like answer me back, but I know that's not going to happen. But it would be fun. I thought maybe I should do one of these as a live. But I've never done a live before. Losing the needle. Also, I wonder if would y'all be interested in one of these Stitch With Me's being a crochet with me while I work on my little granny squares? Let me know if that's something that y'all would like. Oh, I got a text. Sorry about that. Sometimes you can't ignore certain people. All right. Oh, I'm so excited to have the names done. How exciting. All right, we just have the P, which I don't know if I've done a P yet. Well, not a lowercase anyways. So I just got to see. Okay. I don't do as well with my pattern being like way over here. It's normally like right here. So I'm trying to get used to that. The goal would also be that every week for this stitch with me or possibly crochet with me, it would be a different pattern. That would be really cool. Then we're going to do this star up here, but it's on this side. I think that Freeform channel keeps on replaying Casper today. With Christina Ricci. I love that version. It's so good. I grew up with that. Was that from 94 or something maybe? I know it's the 90s. I just can't remember when. But I can, the TV's still on in my bedroom. I can faintly hear it. Oh, look at that, guys. 4 half stitches to finish the list of names. Very exciting for me. All right, let's see. So that's where we are. Like I said, I was gonna do this next, but I really think I just want to finish this star, the word Salem, and then Gallows Hill, and then I'll move back down to this and then finish the tree and the house with the grass and little cemetery. All that. So part of the tree is left and all of this, and then that's it. We're closing in, guys. We're closing in. All right. Let's adjust this hoop. I love spring tension hoops. Some people really don't like them, and to each their own. But for me, it's the best tension that I can get. And if it remotely comes like loose or something, it's just really easy to like fix. Let's see. I need the two colors that I'm doing these little stars in is Deep Forest and Terracotta. All right. That's how I make my knots. Loop it around and then pull it. All right, I've got to find a starting point for this. That's going to be the hardest thing, I think, is finding the right starting point. So there's 2, 1, 1, 1, and 2. I think it's right around there somewhere. Looks like it's right here. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, up 1. All right, is that right? I know it is on this end. Yes, okay, yeah. We are correct. Dang. I just whacked that really hard. All right. I know that these are over dyed, but I don't always do one stitch at a time. Sometimes I'll do like, I'll go up a couple and then come back down. And these are sets of 4 on this side. So that's just what I'm gonna do. The only thing is every once in a while you get a little bit of a knot, but usually it's easy to get out. See, now that this strand of floss is super long, I have more chance of hitting the stand that the camera's on. Oops. Just a little bit clumsier with the longer thread. But gas comes already pre-cut. I wouldn't want to make it any shorter. I really like stitching with longer pieces of thread. I normally don't have a stand in my way. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. So what are you guys working on? Anything spooky, or is it business as usual? Have you already started on Christmas? I know some people who have already started on Christmas pieces to get a head start. I haven't. I should. But that's what November is for, right? That is what November is for. So on this one, I'm going to do every stitch because I need my thread to be in the center. So that way I can move around like this. I just waited until the second pedal of the pinwheel to do that. So I don't think this whole, well, I know for a fact this whole month is not going to be Halloween stitching. It probably should be. I have enough Halloween things to work on that are whips, but some of it is not going to be. One of them is going to be a Texas themed piece, a new start, and one has a mermaid, which will be really fun. I think anyways. And I don't know, there's some other ones that like I said, I want to start, but I also kind of want to work on the Scary Apothecary series. I only have 3 out of the 9 done. So, you know, it would be nice to get some more going, maybe finish a few of them. So I don't know, I may work on the Scary Apothecary series. That may be a good thing to work on. I really hope that my moments of being quiet aren't too boring. I'm usually someone who can talk for hours straight, but also sometimes it's just nice to stitch in silence. So I'm trying to give you a nice, healthy mix of both. But that's also like curious, like I'm curious about that though too. So if you are like a fan of Stitch With Me's, do you like ones where the person talks a whole lot? Or I've also seen Stitch With Me's where there's no talking. It's just the sound of like the thread and the needle and the fabric, and this fabric doesn't get as tight. It's not as like drummy to get that nice like thread pull through and like the needle sound. But I love that sound though too myself. You can hear some of it. Oh. It's not as loud. This isn't the right fabric for that. But I've been curious though, like what kind of Stitch With Me's do you guys like? Because I've never done one, so maybe I could, if a lot of you like silent ones, maybe I could do one where I do stay silent. God, my hit that again. I'm really trying not to. I just think sometimes it's not going to be able to be helped. Really want to get this pinwheel done. It's taking me longer than I thought it would. But it's looking really good, I think. I think it's looking pretty good. They looking even? They're starting on the same row. Yeah, they're even. Sometimes you have to double check, you know? You can hear some of the different noises in my house. My fridge always seems to be making weird noises sometimes. It makes like a noise sometimes. It's really funny. I don't know what it means. It's been doing it for years. It still works. So we're going to go with it's not a big deal. This is looking good. It would be magical if I could get this whole thing done with one strand. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it would be great if it was. Just like how neat. And there's a little bit of this green left. The part of grass, it looks like this, just under the Gallows Hill house, and it's the same color, so. I think Hocus Pocus is on now. Did it just, is it the top of the hour? No, not yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just a commercial. But I thought I heard it in the background. Who's watched Hocus Pocus yet this year? And if you have, how many times have you already watched it this year? I can say once so far for me. And sadly, I fell asleep during part of it. I was on the couch and Potter laid on me, and it was yesterday, and my back had started hurting already, and I just fell asleep. But like I said, I think I'm in a deficiency level of vitamin D. You're very, very tired when you are low on vitamin D, and you have excruciating pain, or at least I did before, in like my leg, my arm, well, legs, arms, and like my back and like torso area. Very excruciating. And so you literally just want to, oh, that's not, what are you doing? You just want to lay down and like sleep all the time. And that's really how I felt the last, I don't know, 4 days or so. So we're gonna keep on the vitamins and not miss any days. I might take a second vitamin D tonight just to boost it. But we'll see. See how many milligrams I'll be. Plus staying very hydrated. Very hydrated. Look at this little star coming together. It's looking so good. I love it. I think I'm going to finish up this star. I'll do the terracotta in the center as well, but I think we're going to call this Stitch With Me done when this star is finished. I think that would be a pretty good length of time video for my first Stitch With Me. I really hope that everyone is enjoying the content so far for Vlog-O-Ween. I'm really enjoying putting it all together, and I'm just having fun doing like some old style videos like the weekend vlog, trying something new like the Stitch With Me, and trying to put out content every day but Sunday, you know? So that's why it's easier for me to do the Stitch With Me recording on Sunday, is because I'm not putting out any content on Sunday. But sometimes it might be recorded on a Monday or something. It just kind of depends. I do have a couple of weekends where I have a few things going on, so might not always be able to do it on the same day, but they all are going to go out on a Wednesday. So Stitch With Me will be on Wednesday, the day. Well, you may not be watching this on Wednesday, but that's the day it's going to go up. It's Wednesday the 8th. I think it is. Maybe, no, say the 4th. 5th, 6th, 7th. 7th. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. One of my younger cousins starts his hockey season on Friday. Well, he's already started playing, obviously, but their first series of games is this upcoming weekend. And it's less than an hour away from me. And his parents are finishing up their move from one section of the state to the other section of the state. It's like a 4-hour away move. And they're finishing that up this upcoming weekend, so they can't go to his first game series. So I'm going to go to the opening night, and I'm really excited about it. Ooh, look, we're getting so close. It looks so good, I think. trying to get all the words done today and just have the big chunks of color left. I think that's kind of fair to say. I also have to figure out what colors I want to use in the house. So I haven't fully decided, honestly. I may have to dig around a little bit and pull out a couple other colors. Who knows? Do you ever get close to finishing a piece or like a motif and the song The Final Countdown? Or I guess, The Eye of the Tiger comes in your head? And like starts going, it's the final countdown. I'm not going to continue. I don't want to get copyright stricken. You have to be careful with that. But does that play in anybody else's head? Like that song? When you're like the last couple of stitches from a motif or in like a piece as like a whole? It does for me almost every time. I don't know what it is, but all right, let's pull off a new strand of terracotta because we need it for this, and then we also need it for the little line underneath the A in Salem, and then terracotta will be done. Come on. There we go. Okay, so exciting. This is it for this motif. That is it, you guys. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. And I love how different they are. They are the same color. It's just the strand that I had didn't get to the lighter greens, but it looks so beautiful. lovely tulip pink embroidery scissors. We're gonna just leave that right there because we're gonna need that in a minute, but I need to move this anyways, so let's go ahead and take it out of the hoop and just admire it for a minute. There we go. I think it all looks great. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the words done. So it's gonna say Salem and then Gallows Hill. And then I'll come back and finish this. And then I'll finish the tree and then move to Gallows Hill, which goes right here. So beautiful. And there's that section. I loved, oh, you can really see it on camera. It gets a little lost in person, but this is really good coloring here. And I forget what color I used for this grass, to be quite honest. I've already put it away. Green tea or something like that. Tea leaves? I don't know. But I started over here and it started to get dark. And so I left it. And then I skipped a couple of spots, finished the dark section right here to look like a shadow. And then my next strand of floss, I came over here and went around. So that way it had those little shadow spots. And the pattern, this is supposed to go across the entire bottom. And then there's a section, which I don't have it on the pattern part anymore, but you can kind of see the little points down here. There's an empty section, and on the pattern, it has a little square, and it says, fill with buttons or lace or something. I don't know. So I didn't want to do that. And since this is repeated on the top underneath Gallows Hill, I just put it under this section, which filled in a bunch of this beautifully. And so it'll look, the one up here, it'll like close it in and make that like its own section. So that's where my Witches of Salem is at. And we're gonna stop that here. And I really hope that y'all enjoyed the first stitch with me. I know I did. And yeah, thanks so much. We'll do another one next week. Bye, guys.